Hi, Rigsters Journey here, and we're back with another Hidden Gems episode. This time I'm covering the 1966 Ford Lotus Cortana, not to be confused with Microsoft's AI software. So let me show you the build to see how I show you how fast this particular car and build is. This is a very fast high-speed build, an S1 class car. I put on a single turbo to make it go even faster. Makes 718 horsepower, 519 foot-pounds of torque, and you'll notice that it weighs ridiculously low, 1,853 pounds, and almost 50-50 weight distribution, 3.6 liter, and the engine is an inline 6. I did a drivetrain swap so I can make it go even faster. It's originally rear-wheel drive, but I put in all-wheel drive instead. And the engine is a 3.2 liter inline 6. And I'll go to the next tabs here. I put on a front wing that's adjustable. Stock it has a steel bumper. And on the rear, the Forza spoiler is for classic cars usually will look like this. Usually I put like a little duckbill spoiler there that actually produces downforce. And to reduce the weight just by a few pounds, sometimes removing the bumper in this game will allow you to reduce the weight by about, let's see here, 158 minus 3, 765, about 4 or 5 pounds. It's not a huge jump, but it definitely helps. And of course, I intended this car to be like a rally car, and also be able to go on road. So I put the rally tire compound on. You can put on the race compound to make it even grip more, but since that puts it at S2, I'd rather keep it at S1 because the power, even though this car goes ridiculously fast, it just does not want to go to S2. So for the tire diameters, we have 225s on the front and 225s on the rear. The rims I put on stock, so that way it's for maximum control or maximum effect. Although for this episode, I have not experimented with the bigger rims, but I'm thinking of trying maybe putting 14 or 15-inch rims. Let's see how big can we get this? 19-inch. Oh my goodness, that looks so ridiculous. 19-inch rims. Wow. That. Oh, and it actually makes it go to S2 when you raise the inches to 16. Well, that's something new I didn't even know about. So apparently raising your rim size also sometimes can upclass your car as well. So let's do 14 on the front. I don't want to make it too ridiculous. Let's see how big the rear can get. 19 as well. Yeah, let's try 14. I want to see what happens when I put that in there. I've yet to experiment with that. And the track width, of course, max it out for better handling. And of course the usual for the transmission and clutch, faster shift times, less weight. And of course, absolutely have to always get the differential. You always want to be able to tune that. For the brakes, I put maximum race brakes, rally springs, because I wanted to be able to go off-roading every once in a while. Maximum roll bars, no roll cage, although it only adds 90 pounds. Let's see, does it increase the handling at all? Usually, in this game, putting the roll cage doesn't really do a huge effect, but it seems like it boosts the handling and acceleration just by a little bit. Let's put that on and just give that a shot, even though it adds 90 pounds. Originally it weighed 2,263 pounds, but with max weight reduction, it's 1,954 with the roll cage, and slightly heavier rims. And for the engine upgrades, I'm pretty sure I maxed everything out here, just taking a look. I always like having the maximum camshaft and exhaust, depending on the class of build you want to do. I maxed this car as best as I can for the inline 6 because I think that historically this car could greatly benefit from it. Oh, look at that. I can actually add one more part even though it makes it weigh more. Yeah, I think it's worth doing. Sometimes it's worth putting the intercore in too as well, but it does raise the weight even more so. Yeah, I think it's worth the extra 34 horsepower. For some interesting reason, the extra 9 horsepower for the coolant actually makes it go 1 point less because it weighs just a little bit more. but I'm gonna put it in anyways. And now the flywheel I usually max out, but it'll go to S2 if I put the race flywheel. So I'm gonna put in the sport flywheel now that I did that, and reduce the weight by about 3 pounds. So it weighs a little more, but it makes a smidge more power. So I'm gonna buy that for 10,400 credits. And let's go to the map and see what's what. Alright, back. So, let's see here. Let's do a street race here. So, if you want to do street race, you click on street scene. I'm also going to select road racing series just to see real quick, to check and see how my car does. Now, this build is definitely very competitive. I did play test this, of course, before filming this video. And I can tell you, this thing can keep up with Lamborghinis. A 1960s car keeping up with Lamborghinis is insane. So let's do a circuit race here, one that has a little bit more speed potential. Alright, and we're back. Let me just show you some of the interesting parts about this car with the wraps I put. On the back here, we feature the famous speed camera testing vehicle, and it's a student driver. And on the side here, we got Sonic, or sometimes they call it Sonic, but this is a poorly drawn Sonic with Gibcat. And on the other side, we're keeping with the theme of anti-Prius repellent, because I don't think a Prius would want to drive next to this car because the exhaust is like unrestricted. Got Sonic fast because this car is really fast with another Gibcat. And I also tinted the windows for this episode. It looks pretty cool. It matches the paint. So, with that being said, let's get to the race. Alright, and for the settings here, I'm going to do a 3-lap race in the early afternoon. Clear weather. That way, the race will be consistent. So let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see how it does with this build with some mods. With 14-inch rims, extra power, and I didn't tune for the set extra power. I put in a roll cage in to see if the handling actually does get better. So I'm going through the first series of turns. Catching up to Ledmar the Saint. In 6th gear already. Wow, this roll cage actually does improve the rigidity of the car. I'm not sure about the 14-inch rims though. 14-inch rims seem to be making it understeer a little bit more than I like. Might have to play around with the tuning on that. I'll show the tuning after this race to see what I can modify. So, this car is almost reaching 170 on a short runway. It's ridiculous. And this car can drift. I mean, if you really want to, you can actually set this up for drifting and get really good results as well. But I tended this for like grip and speed. I'll just have to catch up to those Fords now. For some reason, they're getting ahead of me. So let's see on that too. Oh, didn't brake enough, and I hit the wall. Walls are your friend in this game. In real life, this car would not be happy hitting walls at like 100 miles an hour. The race would pretty much be over. This red Subaru looks pretty cool though, but I have to pass him because we got a race to win. I want to see if I can actually win a race this time, because this is intended to be like a serious build, not a goofy troll build. This is supposed to troll people and win, kind of. Notice this lap is going much better because I'm a little more familiar with how it's understeering. Hard on the brakes. And drifting through the turn, hitting the... Wow. I hit the signage. Oh no. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's for sure. These Fords are really fast now. I don't know how much power they're making, because I'm making like 600 horsepower, 2,100 pounds weight, and they're still beating me. Oh. Yeah, got the brake. Alright. I was able to accelerate through the turn. That's the advantage of doing an all-wheel drive meta build. This four-wheeler drive, I would be sliding all over the place, not having enough grip to go through that turn at that speed. And interestingly enough, when you have cosmetic damage in this game, you still get the downforce. because I totally lost my rear wing and I don't feel any loss of downforce. It's kind of hilarious that way, when you do that. So let's see how fast I can go on this straightaway now that I have no cars to worry about. They are catching up though. Oh, almost hit 170. Not bad. The race that short, that's pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna power for this turn at 4th gear just to see what happens. Because why not? It's a troll car. Not bad. So now downshifting there netted me a little faster lap. Alright, and that race was won. Got 1st place. That was really awesome. So let me show you some of the tuning I did for this build. With some slight modifications I just made with the rims and the roll cage. 29 PSI for the tires. Gearing's at 3.75. I might put this at 3.77 just for a tiny bit more acceleration. Maybe 3.78. Oh, it's not affecting the top speed too much. Yeah, that's enough. 379. And for alignment, I didn't do like a heavy aggressive camber because it's all-wheel drive. I lowered the caster from 6 to 5.8. That way it's a little bit more stable. At least I feel it's more stable. Roll bars, I did 23 in the front and 19.2 in the rear. I think if you don't go beyond these values too much, you can make this understeer or oversteer, depending on your preference, a little bit better. For the springs, I made them a little stiffer, made them like 202 pounds in the front and rear. That way, the grips and the dampening will all work out. And for the ride height, I put it halfway, because originally this was at like 9 or 10 inches, which is way too high for street racing. I want to definitely lower that to like 7 inch, 6.9 inch range. Rebound, I put on the stiffer side. I put it like in between the values for the front and rear to balance that skittish or anti-whale flop technology. Because you don't want your car flopping around at 200 miles an hour. You'll have no control. And for aero, it's always good to put towards cornering and then dial it back as needed. Sometimes when you get the downforce too high, you can actually cause understeer rather than the intended effect. Brakes, I didn't play around with. I kept it by default 50-50. And if you're using ABS, you generally don't want it to be higher than 100% because there's really not much benefit for racing to having any higher than that. In differentials, I might do like 45-45 for the front since it was understeering a little more than I like. For the rear differential, I put it at 88 instead of 75%, which it starts you off with. And 65 front rear balance. So let's apply that setup and do one more race. But before I do that, let me show you the car mastery. The car mastery, I did the usual weekend toy, first skill point. And you can also put in more points for more faster car skill point rates. Some cars have some really interesting descriptions, like timeless design. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna unlock that perk. Let's see if I can get some more skill points. So I'll slap those in there. And let's see here. Sometimes you'll get like skill point influence, which is instant. That'll level up your account. And let's see here. Let's get some more just hoon it. And let's do a wheel spin too, because sometimes these wheel spins can get really interesting. So let's take a spin and see what happens. I'm not going to skip it just for the first time, just to show you what it looks like. Oh no, a common blue pea coat. I don't want a coat, but oh well. I guess I have to coat with it. Okay, that was a terrible pun. Alright, now I'll see you back at another race. Alright, let's get this race started. I'll create the blueprint and I'll see you on the starting line. Alright, so this is going to be a sprint race, meaning that it's a one lap race. And with those tunes I put on the car, faster gear ratio towards acceleration, it's definitely improved so far. It's definitely reaching its speeds much quicker than I anticipated actually. It almost slammed into Sendor 24. And I hit the wall, of course, because I'm too Sonic fast. Let's see what I can do passing these Audis on the front here. And it's hard on the brakes. Yes. I think this is going to be an easy win. I'm just too fast for these cars. Even though I put any S1 for the blueprint build, it doesn't matter. On the road, this car is just too dominant. I think you can almost hang with certain S2 cars, provided they're not the electric cars. Electric cars pretty much are way too fast, even for this car. It's insane how much cornering speed I'm putting in a 1960s car. Even though I'm not using the race rubber, it still has a lot of grip. The downforce really helps too. You don't want to be doing this build without downforce. I tried that. It flops too much without it. Because granted, you're going like 160 plus miles an hour, so you kind of need downforce if you want to actually turn at all. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have a tendency to hit the wall, don't I? Walls are my friend. Oh, understeered again. Might have to tune the front differentials just a smidge lower. It still has a tendency under acceleration to understeer more than I like. Even though I like having understeer in a car, it's understeering too much for my personal taste as well, so I might have to mod that. Well, I guess apparently I can't seem to avoid hitting walls every once in a while. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, drifting through the turn a little bit there. Yeah, hard on the power. Let's get going. Oh, not too much though. I don't want to hit the wall. Oh, the Audi's caught up to me and passed. Oh, he won't be able to pass me for long. Because I just have too much acceleration. This car is too heavy. 150. Holy smokes. Oh no. Oh, I got trolled. Alright. Well, before we conclude this episode, let's do something just a little bit different. I finished third in that race because I hit a wall. If I didn't hit that wall, I would definitely easily won it. Sometimes it's hard to drive while you're talking. So I'm gonna go for a speed camera. Since this is an actual speed camera test vehicle, let's see if we can see how fast this car goes. Because I think I can hit 180 in that amount of distance. But what I'm doing is going to build up some speed first. I set a custom route on the map. And to do that, you just go to world map and hit the A button on the Xbox controller. And you'll see a blue line. And this blue line is very useful for speed cameras. So, like the name implies, you just try to get the highest top speed and get it 3-starred so you get some more skill points to level up your account. So let's hit the power and go. So many civilian cars on this particular road. Going 150. Let's see here, I'm gonna lug it in the 6th gear. Oh, maybe I should approach it from the other end. 147. I think I can hit it faster than that. Let me try it from the other side. Sometimes going a different side of the map will work. So let's back it up. And reset the route. Let's try that again. I want to see if I can at least hit 150. Because I think this car can definitely easily do 150. Maybe even more speed if I time it right. So let's floor it and go. You have to watch for civilian cars though. Oh no. I don't think we're gonna hit 150. Come on. 150, yes, 152. We're gonna need to find a way to build some more speed. I'm gonna give it one more shot. I think I can beat OP sax. Wow, he definitely likes the saxophone. Oh wow, I built a lot of skill points just by doing that. And sometimes when you do these speed challenges, you can build up a lot of skill points if you don't crash. because I don't have the second life skill point. And I almost hit a van. Where did this van come from? Well, no matter. I'm gonna pass him anyways. One last attempt. Let's see if we can go faster than 152. Ah, nope. 151. Alright, well, this was another hidden gem in the game. The 1966 Ford Loutus Corontina is a very cool street slash rally car. If you want the build or tune, just let me know in the comments and I'll put it in the description in the video. Because I think this tune is almost perfect. I might tweak it just a little more before posting if interested. And I also cover Jalopy. I posted some new videos on that journey. It's how I started my YouTube journey, by the way. And check out my other episodes in the Hidden Gem series as well. I cover a Maserati and a Unimog as the previous 2 episodes. This is Rigsters Journey, signing off.